Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads, and I am going to be sharing with you my autumn reading goals while this piece of hair stabs me in the face. I don't know what is happening with my wall there. We're going to move on with our lives. There, that should be better. I did not do a 2024 reading list or priority list. Instead, this year I have been doing sort of seasonal TBRs because who knows what you want to read like 9 months later in the year. You don't, I don't know. So I have been doing that and it's been working for me so far. So these are the 5 books that I want to prioritize in autumn. And I found it really difficult because in my mind, when I hear autumn, I think Halloween, which is true, but there's so much more than that. So I wanted to get books that I could read at the start of autumn that didn't feel too Halloween-y. I don't know, I'm probably gonna just ignore that and read spooky books throughout the season, but I had a plan. So these are the 5 books that I want to prioritize, and I have no order other than the order in which I have stacked them on my bed in front of me. And these books are all books that I have previously planned to read in autumn. And finally, I'm trying to prioritize them and hopefully I'll get there. So first up, I have Dracul by Dacra Stoker and JD Barker. This is a Dracula prequel, I believe. It was written with the leftover notes from Dracula. And if you know me, you'll know that I loved Powers of Darkness, which was another book that was kind of written using documentation and notes for Dracula, and I always have a fantastic time with that book, so I'm hopeful I'm gonna enjoy this. It is a chunky boy, but I've got 3 months and I'm hopeful that I will get to this. And it's got a cute kind of little holy cover. There's a proper name for these, I don't know, but yes. So this is a book that is set before Dracula and surrounds the events immediately preceding Dracula, which is one of my favourite classics. I'm excited to read it, but I'm also kind of anxious. But I'm thinking maybe I read this and then I read Dracula and I just have a fantastic time. That sounds like an amazing weekend or week. Next up is Wish of the Wicked by Danielle Page. This is a Cinderella retelling and the cover just made me feel autumnal. There's a wood. Well, there's trees. Trees equal a wood to me. This book is a Cinderella retelling and we have a group of people who are called the Entente. They have magical powers and they use it to support the royal family. They have magical powers and they use it to keep the queendoms in harmony. However, one day magic is outlawed and would you believe it? Harmony no longer happens. Chaos ensues, murder ensues, and there is only one person left from the Ententes. And pretty sure that's our fairy godmother. And she is powerless, without magic, and dreams of nothing but revenge. You know I love a good revenge story. And she finds herself in a position to maybe have a little bit of sway in who the prince should marry. And Pharaoh kind of takes this as her opportunity to get within reach of those who made her suffer and caused her to lose everything. So I'm very intrigued. I love a fairy tale retelling and I love a revenge tale, so I'm very excited for this one. I'd hoped to get to it last year, but I didn't, and I did put it aside because I wanted to read it when the weather starts to cool down a little bit, because for me that is like fairy tale time. Fairy tale and scary time. Another book that I didn't manage to read last year, The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Maurice. This surrounds a group of octogenarian witches. I love me an older protagonist. They've fallen a little bit behind on their mortgage payments and there is an angry mob at their door. The witches are determined to save their home. The angry mob want to demolish it. In addition to that, there is somebody out there for revenge and he is coming after these octogenarian witches. And they are trying to deal with that while dealing with people want to demolish our home. And in addition to that, a sister who has been far away for a long time is returning. And with that, she's bringing some chaos. So we've got these octogenarian protagonists who have got things they need to do and people that are like, yeah, but blah, blah, blah. So I'm very excited to see. I'm very eloquent today. I'm really excited to read this. I love an older protagonist. I love a quest, like a project, a goal. So I'm very excited about this. I think it's going to be utterly charming and lovely. And I think it's going to be perfect for those darker, cooler nights. Next up is, I'm going to say maybe a bit of a wild card, because the only way that I think this is autumnal is the cover. Because look how autumnal that is. Look at that and tell me it's not autumnal. You can't. God Killer by Hannah Keener. I'm really reluctant to read this because I'm really excited about it, but a lot of my friends have read it and they did not like it. Which can mean either I'm going to love it or I'm going to hate it. There will be no in between. This is about a woman whose family was destroyed by gods, and so she now slays gods. All's going well in the slaying game until she finds a god she cannot defeat. And the god that she can't kill has accidentally found himself linked to a noble, and well, they're both being hunted by assassins. So from there we go on a bit of a quest, and I'm just really excited about this. I don't know too much because it's quite a short book, which I feel is quite unusual for like high fantasy. Maybe this isn't high fantasy because it's short, but there's going to be world building, and surely the world building will take a decent amount of this book. I also have to say the end pages of this are just utterly stunning, and I'm really excited to read this and get a nice fantasy world. I also got a bookmark with this, which I love a bookmark. This book has a quest element. The world is on the brink of civil war, and there are demons hunting the main character, the god, and the noble, who are also being hunted by assassins. Are the demons assassins? Because that would be really cool, and I kind of hope they are. I hope they are. And my final book that I want to read in autumn is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. It's a chunky one. I got this from the library sale last year, I think, maybe the year before, and I wanted to read it. I actually messed up. I thought I wanted to read this in winter because I thought it was a Christmassy book, but it's not. I think it's definitely an autumn book. I think this is called Nosferatu in other countries, but in the UK it's Nosferatu, or at least this edition is Nosferatu, which of course is Nosferatu. We've got vampires. So this book surrounds a baddie who has a car with this license plate, and he goes around stealing children and taking them to a place called Christmasland, where they are changed. Don't know how they're changed, but also the fact that it's Christmasland made me think it was a Christmas book. It's not. There have only been 2 people who have escaped from this chappie, one of whom is an adult now, and her son has been taken. So she is like, I need to go and battle this guy, get my kid back. I'm very excited about this. I've never read anything by Joe Hill, but I have heard good things about his writing, and I know he wrote Horns, which I think I've seen the film of, or I've seen enough clips of it to think I've seen the film, and it was good. So I'm excited. I'm intrigued because it says the most terrifying book you'll read this year, and I hope that's the case. I'd like a nice scary book, and I'm intrigued. It's a big one, and I don't know too much about it. I find that I prefer to go off of the blurb for the book because it's the easiest way for me to avoid spoilers, and I don't want spoilers of books that I want to read. I want to read them and get that. So I sort of go into books a little bit mapless, a little bit guideless, because I only know the very bare bones of what it's going to be about. But I'm intrigued. I want to know why this guy's kidnapping kids. I want to know what happens at Christmasland. I want to know how only 2 people were able to escape. I want to know more. My interest is piqued. I'm excited. So this is my stack of the 5 books I want to prioritise in autumn. Let me know if you've read any of them and if you recommend bumping any of these up to the top of this pile. And I'm excited because I've got a nice mix. I've got some horror, I've got some gothic horror, I've got, I think, Witches of Moonshine Manor I think is going to be cozy. A little bit of fantasy with God Killer, and I think Wish for the Wicked is gonna just be a good revenge, good for her story. I'm excited. I'm also so happy that autumn is coming. I'm filming this in July and I'm so warm because I hate summer and it's still summer and warm. So these are my priority picks. Let me know if you have any priority picks that you are hoping to pick up in autumn. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!